Right. Welcome back to another episode of the movie review series. HAUNTober, week 5, the last episode of the event, last entry of the event. Yeah, I tell you, man. Yeah, a few weeks, a few days, a few weeks. I don't think I'll ever get it right. A few days ago, said I was going to come back one more review for HAUNTober. And here we are, man. Universal Horror Classic. The real Universal Horror Classic. Yeah. Frankenstein, 1931. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, Dr. Henry in this movie, Frankenstein. Yeah, the ultimate mad scientist. This guy, goddamn grave digger. He's a goddamn grave digger. He and his misshapen hunchback assistant, Fritz. Not Igor, Fritz. Igor was in the parody movie, um, the parody movie with Gene Wilder. That was Igor. This one here, his name was Fritz in the in this movie. You know, just like with Frankenstein. You know, Doctor Frankenstein. His name is Henry in this movie, but in the book, his name was Victor. And that's how I always knew him. So yeah, I got a little confused when I heard, they referred to him as Henry. But yeah, yeah, this movie though, speaking of source material, this movie is based off of not only the book from Mary Shelley, but it's based off. This movie is adapted from the 1927 play Frankenstein, an adventure in the macabre by Peggy Webling. Now, yeah, yeah, adapted from the this movie is adapted from a play, but the play in turn is based off of Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. So yeah, I tell you, man, yeah, it's a nice little mixture of both source materials. And the funny thing is, with the opening credits of this movie, you know, you got a question mark besides, who is playing the monster. You know, yeah, a question mark, and then later, later in the closing credits, the end credits, they identify who was playing the monster, which was Boris Karloff. So yeah, that was pretty funny what they did there. I guess it was safe to let us see on the on the secret after after it was all said and done. But here's something else. When the movie started, they basically hit you with a disclaimer. Yeah, the movie begins with Edward Van Sloan stepping out behind a curtain, delivering a cautionary monologue. Yeah, he basically just hit it. He basically just hit us with a disclaimer. Yeah, how do you do, Mr. Carl Lemel? Mr. Carl Lemel feels it would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a friendly word a friendly word of warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It details great with the two great mysteries of of creation, life and death. I think it would thrill you. It may shock you. It may even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance to well, we warned you. So yeah, he basically just hit us with a disclaimer. Yeah, what we are about to watch, it may thrill you, it may shock you, it may even horrify you. So if you feel that you don't have the stomach for it, we warned you. So yeah, with this, yeah, with all that being said, though, yeah, you see, Doctor Henry Frankenstein do the grave digging, and yeah, he got all the important pieces except for one. He needed a brain. So yeah, he went to find he went to certain labs to find a brain, and when he did, he put it into the monster. They hit the switch, and yeah, we hit the switch, saw the electricity, and everything like that. We saw everything go. You know the story. I'm sure. You know the scene. I'm sure. It's live. It's alive. It's alive. Oh God, now I know what it's like to be God. So yeah, you know, yeah. Once the monster, once he moved his arm, yeah, it's live. It's alive. That's the classic scene, man. That's the iconic classic scene. You know. You know what? I forgot to do this in the last review, so I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna name the major players in this movie. Here, Colin Clive, May Clark, John Bowles, Boris Karloff, Dwight Fry, Edward Van Sloan, Frederick Kerr. But yeah, with all of those cats being named, yeah, yeah, we got the monster. Yeah, he's alive. It's alive in a way. And yeah, yeah, the movie it focuses on a upcoming wedding from uh from what I understand. It focuses on the upcoming wedding after the monster is created. Yeah, Henry's fiance Elizabeth. You know, yeah, she despite him being the mad scientist, she still wants to marry the cat. And yeah, Frankenstein's monster, despite its grotesque form, seems to be an innocent, childlike creation. Yeah, so he escapes the laboratory, go to the countryside, and yeah, he have a little incident with a little girl. Yeah, he meets up with a little girl, and yeah, his innocent, childlike behavior, him being misunderstood. Yeah, he picks the girl up and tosses her into the lake, drowning her. Not knowing what it has done. He runs off, and yeah, once the um, once the girl's father finds out, you know, Once the girl's father finds out, that's when the villagers the villagers, they become a lynch mob. Yeah, that whole mob mentality. They did everything besides chant "Evil dies tonight," basically. So yeah, with their torches and pitchforks and everything like that. Yeah, that's where the phrase comes from, torches and pitchforks. From this movie. Yeah, the entire village. I mean, man, so many torches. The entire village is out in the countryside looking for this monster, and it is the it is Henry Frankenstein. Yeah, and here's the other misconception. Everybody in history thought that the monster was named Frankenstein. That was the monster's identification throughout history, pop culture history. But no, the monster did not have a name. In certain books, in certain adaptations, he did have a name. We can call him Adam. Yeah, in this movie, the monster did not have a name. He was just known as Frankenstein's monster. So yeah, the real Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, you know, yeah, he confronts the monster, you know, and yeah, he got some balls. I tell you, Dr. Frankenstein got some balls. Knowing that his monster, he got super strength and everything, he stood up to him. He stood up to the monster. But unfortunately, the monster knocked his ass out. He knocked his ass out. Took him. To safety. I guess. In his mind, he was trying to get him to safety. He brought him up to the windmill. The mob followed him up to the windmill, and yeah, the monster tosses Doctor Frankenstein out to the crowd, only to get hit by the windmill. But yeah, the windmill saved his life. But the mob burns down the windmill with the monster still inside. And man, I tell you, with the monster trapped inside, you know, yeah, they think that they have killed the monster, which they might have because we did not see him again. So yeah, with the back at the castle, yeah, Henry's father celebrates the wedding of his recovered son with a toast to the future grandchild, and that's pretty much how the movie ends. Yeah, it's not that long of a movie, you know. It gives you a nice little hour length, but an extra 11 minutes. Yeah, it's not that long of a movie. So yeah, not that long of a movie, but so much story that was packed in though. You know, but yeah, this movie though, The Ultimate. Yeah, the ultimate mad scientist. And this movie is ultimate, period. You got the ultimate mad scientist in Dr. Frankenstein. You got the most iconic monster ever in Frankenstein's monster. I mean, hell, I do this movie on Halloween because, you know, this monster, you know, the image of him was the mask of many Halloween costumes back in my day. So yeah, I tell you, man. Yeah, you get a lot of kids out there dressed as Frankenstein's monster. They don't know who it is. They just know they just know that it's probably Frankenstein. So yeah, they dress as Frankenstein's monster. Had those plastic masks with the stretchy with the elastic strap that hurts like hell when it snaps against your skin. Yeah, yeah, those particular costumes, that was a one and done. You ain't gonna save it for next Halloween, okay? That was a one and done. Those some bitches will tear at the end of the night. Okay, like the old trapper keepers that we had when we was in school. You know, around the end of the school year, that some bitch was damn near done. The binder was torn, everything. I tell you know, nice and fresh at the beginning of school, but at the end of the school year, that some bitch was done for. Okay, it was worn out. And so yeah, those Halloween costumes that we used to have of Frankenstein back in the day, or Frankenstein's monster anyway. See, I'm not. See, you got me doing it. Yeah, Frankenstein's monster back in the day. Those costumes at the end of the night, done for. The mask, the strap was the strap has snapped. You can't wear the mask no more. So yeah, but in the trash. But that's how it was back in the day, man. That's how it was for me back in the day. So yeah, you get that Halloween costume, you know, the monster, Frankenstein's monster, the most iconic monster ever. You know, yeah, this movie though, it's one of the most iconic movies ever. 100% damn good shit. 5 out of 5. You know, that's my review, Jack. I'm sticking to it. HAUNTober is over, man. HAUNTober is over. Me sitting there with my Halloween shirt, Halloween clothes. HAUNTober is over. I ain't doing no more horror for probably for the rest of the year and maybe parts of next year. I don't know. But yeah, I am all horrored out after this, man. I am wiped. I'm done. Just like the Halloween costume. I am done. Next week, though, next week I'm going to, considering the fact that today is Halloween, October 31st, tomorrow is Saturday, I'm not going to do another review to put out tomorrow, So yeah, next week I'm going to do two reviews one more time. Two reviews one more time. Two reviews one more time. So yeah, next Wednesday, put out uh, another review. And yeah, something that was long overdue. I wanted to do this back in September, but I did not have the time. I had a lot of shit going on. Yeah, hell, back in the summer, back in September, a lot of shit going on. Especially in September. I had a schedule made out, but I had a problem with the PS4, so I had to give me another controller. Now, hopefully, I can get my navigation and get my navigation going again. So yeah, next week, Warwick Davis and the late great Val Kilmer join forces, take on the an evil sorceress. To the best of my knowledge, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but yeah, so my Willow next week. So you keep it locked right here for that. Check out my other shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. And check out the HAUNTober playlist one more time right here. In the meantime, in between time, Jack, this show is off. Happy Halloween. HAUNTober is now officially over. Rest in peace, HAUNTober 2025.